Now, because I'm a complete loser, last night I spent about 3 hours watching through all of the leaked clips over and over and over again. And of course, I can't put the leaked clips in this video because I quite like having a YouTube channel. And I think Take-Two Interactive might firebomb my house or something like that if I show the clips. So yeah, we're not going to be showing any of the leaked clips in this video. But whilst I was watching through the footage last night, the one thing that kept coming up to me and the one thing that kept sticking with me was the interaction menu, and especially the interaction menu on foot. But before we get into today's video, I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. So if you would consider subscribing to the channel, it is massively appreciated. Now, when I say an interaction menu, I'm referring to quite a few things quite broadly. So firstly, I mean the way we interact with objects and things around us, but secondly, the item and inventory list that we have on us during the game. So for example, in Red Dead Redemption 2, we were able to select our weapon choice. We were also able to select things from an inventory menu, and we had different ways of interacting with the items in our inventory menu. For example, we could sell that item, we could buy more items, we could utilize that item to heal our health or refill one of our cores. Now in GTA 6, something that stuck out to me was a lot of the interactions that we had in Red Dead Redemption 2 were about replenishing health, or replenishing something that gave us the ability to play the game for longer or to heal ourselves. Whereas what we've seen in GTA 6, from the leaks that we had, a lot of these interaction menus were predominantly based around things and doing stuff. So for example, we had an equipment tab and we had a gear tab. Now the gear tab, from what we understand so far, will be things like hacking tools and the ability to break into cars and different ways we can break into cars and buildings, but the equipment list is the one thing that we don't have much information on. But also the bit that I'm probably more interested in is how does that equipment list differ from the gear list? Surely gear is an equipment, and surely equipment is gear. Quick maths. But also what we've seen from the leaks, we have the ability to loot people and take things from their possession. But like I said before, in the interaction and inventory menu that we've seen so far, it doesn't look like we can do anything to replenish our health. Now of course the leaks were from early development footage ranging from 2019 to 2022. So there will be a massive amount of changes on the final game, and a lot of things that we saw in the leak will either be expanded upon, maybe not be in the game at all, or be completely revised to work better in the context of the game. But the reason why I wanted to make this video is more of a call to action to you guys to be able to get your thoughts on what you think these interaction menus are for and what things we'll be able to do within the game itself. This is less of an information video and more of a community discussion. My Discord is linked down below, so please feel free to join it and put your suggestions in there. We've got a huge community of people in there, and it's really cool to bounce ideas back and forwards with what you think we're going to see in the game. In Red Dead Redemption 2, like I said earlier, there was a massive emphasis on health and stamina and special abilities and restoring those special abilities in the game. From what we understand from the leaks, Jason has a special ability and Lucia has a special ability, but we can't seem to see anything in the leaks that suggests that they need to replenish with food or snacks. Now, it's probably a given at this point that they are going to need to do that, but that's not seen in the interaction menus we've seen so far, from my understanding. A lot of the on-foot inventory and interaction items we see are more about things and equipment, not replenishing health and not recharging a special ability. And the next thing I want to talk about is the diversity that Rockstar are going to be giving us with GTA 6. And once again, this refers back to the leaks, and from what we've seen, there's many ways that we can do similar tasks. So for example, from what we've seen in the leaks, there's actually many different ways that we can enter a car. So there's things such as lock-picking tools. There's also those little tools that you put down the edge of the window to move the lock out the way. I think they're called Slim Jims or something like that. I can't remember what they're called. But there's many different ways that we can access vehicles. But there's also electronic hacking tools that are designed to disable alarm systems. Now, whether that's used for buildings or for vehicles, we don't know yet. Obviously, we don't have enough information. But what I've really enjoyed seeing from the leaks is that there's so many different possible ways of doing things. And also that brings me on to the whole mini-game aspect of a lot of the different basic tasks. So in GTA 5, like to get into a car, you just enter the car. You drag the person out and enter the car. Whereas with what we've seen from the leaks, it looks like some of these events might become little mini games within themselves. So for example, stealing a car would probably be a lot more difficult. We might have to break the lock, we might have to find ways to hack into it, maybe disable the alarm system. For more expensive cars, we might have to use some different equipment to acquire them. And then this brings me on to the next thing, which is dealerships. Now, in the leaks, we haven't seen any references to dealerships, but I'm really hoping that we get some dealerships back in GTA 6. In GTA Vice City, the dealerships, for me, as a massive car nerd, are a really cool and interesting thing. When GTA Vice City came out, I thought that was the coolest thing ever, having the ability to steal cars from dealerships. And knowing that we're revisiting Vice City, having a more complex way of doing that is really exciting to me. To be able to steal some cars that you don't just see driving around the town, having some specialist cars in a dealership that you can go and steal, is a really cool and really exciting and really engaging way that we could possibly interact with the environment around us. And this is where Rockstar have really put a lot of attention to detail on realism. For example, everything from the police response time to the fact that you acquire new information, you have similar to what we had in Red Dead Redemption 2, and a booklet of resources and information of you learning about your environment. So being able to learn new skill sets and new ways to do things as you progress throughout the game mean that by the time you finish the game, you have a whole arsenal of tools and abilities to your character that you didn't have at the start of the game. In previous Grand Theft Auto titles, in theory, from the very second that you were able to explore the world, you can do everything that you could do at the end of the game. In Red Dead Redemption 2, everything from acquiring fast travel to acquiring different potions and stuff throughout the game allows you to enable different skill sets and unlock new possible ways of doing things. And this is something that I do think is going to be carried over to GTA 6, especially from what we've seen from the leaks. Like I said earlier in the video, this video is more about a community thing. I would love to hear your thoughts. And of course, in this leaked footage, there was so much stuff on screen at once. Everything from debug script to the actual computer information that it was being done on. There was a lot to look at, and without a doubt, I've probably missed a ton of things from this interaction menu and the inventory items that I completely haven't even spoke about in any of my videos yet. Of course, I did a full long video breaking down the GTA 6 leaks document probably a month or two ago, and that was a long one. Actually just going through and watching repeatedly all of these leak clips over and over again have filled me with so many questions, and to be honest, watching the leak clips has generated more questions than it's given me answers, because of course it's very early development footage, so there's nothing to say that any of those things are going to be in the game. The Discord is linked down below. Please join it, please get involved in the conversation. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I'll see you all in the next one.